What's up, guys? Good morning. We are going to break down the best ways to sell commercial roofs. Every Wednesday, we do a internal training with all of my brothers. These are my roofing sales bros, the guys at our RCA, everyone involved in Sky Diamond University. And today, I'm going to open up that call. I've got an awesome presentation on the best ways to sell commercial roofs. Now, a lot of people know me as an insurance roofer. But the truth is that we do a lot of retail commercial roofs. And I'm going to break down in this video what I consider the 5 best ways to sell commercial roofs, both insurance and retail. And during this presentation, I'm going to go through the marketing, the pitch, the closings, and everything that you need to what I call scratch a blue collar lottery ticket. If you're watching this right now, dude, you're only one freaking deal away from what I call a huge surge in your business. Here recently, just this last week, we had a project that I cold called, and I actually did this deal completely over the phone. He was a business guy who didn't know that his roof was that bad, but his roof was really messed up. It was in the path of the storm, and I found his information through a system or software that many people don't know how to use. It's how I find the cell phone numbers to every commercial property owner. The name of that software is called Reonomy. And inside of this training, I'm going to teach you how to use it because I cold called this guy. He was an old redneck. And I told him, hey, my drone detected damage on your roof. And it was a true story. I had one of my top sales guys. His name is Blaine. He drove out to the property. He flew his drone over the property and he identified a lot of damage. He took some pictures on the property because the guy that shows up to a meeting the most prepared wins when it comes to commercial contracts. And what happened is like we showed him the pictures, we told him that he had damage, and we told him that we could get him an immediate repair. Now, besides that, we walked him through the process. We asked him if he had legitimate damage, you want it covered, right? We explained to him that the cost of replacement is usually the biggest burden for commercial property owners and that we had a way potentially to help him get it covered by the insurance. Of course, this process on this job took a little bit of a long time, but it was sort of a fast mover. It was a $1.3 million project, and we got start to finish paid in full within a year. We were building the roof, I think, within probably 90 days or 6 months. But this job went through multiple supplements with the insurance company. Inside this project, we actually dug into the roof, realized that lightweight concrete had to be replaced. If you've ever got into a flat roof, it's all about the core sample. And I used to remember when I was first selling commercial roofs, I would get up on a commercial roof, I would try to quote it, but I wouldn't bring my core tools. And on this roof, when we did a core sample, we found that it had some lightweight concrete. This is a kind of expensive thing that you have to remove and replace. And then once we got down to the deck, it was a metal deck. And when you have a rusted metal deck, an old rusted metal deck, oh my God, you've hit the gold. We actually got the insurance company to pay to replace the concrete, the deck. And even though the insurance company offered $15,000 for repair, we got them to approve replacement. I think the first supplement was from $15,000 to $700K. Then we got them to pay for the lightweight. Then we got them to pay for the structural deck. We ended up getting overhead and profit on the job. Job was a really good project, and my guy Blaine really did well. I'm going to break down how you can do deals just like that at the end. But a lot of us are watching this, and you may not be in a storm market. Comment below if you're not working in a storm market, if there's not an active storm. This is going to be a training for both retail and insurance. And I kind of want to start for the people that are not in the insurance market. And that's what I call the Dream 100 referral system. Now, this is about a host and beneficiary relationship. The goal is to make the person that refers you the roof the star and to get a list of the people that can control or change your destiny. So what I want y'all to do, think about right now, and you can use ChatGPT a lot of times to create lists. Who are the biggest players in your market? Who are the biggest property managers that both lease commercial property and buy and sell or manage commercial property? These are realtors. These are property managers. who are the people that are roof consultants here in Florida. Roofing is a big issue with condos, with commercial properties. A lot of times they have specific roof consultants, and a roof consultant is a great way to get a referral, but they have to know that you're legit. You have to have a relationship in place. And what I'd like for you to do right now is to maybe go to chat, type into chat, what are the largest commercial property owners in my market? Is there any roof consultants in my market? What's their name? And what engineers? See, because here in Florida and many other places, when you're doing commercial roofing, you have to follow engineer specs. And so the best person to get a referral from a lot of times is a property manager, an engineer, a roof consultant, or potentially a commercial property owner that knows a lot of commercial property owners in the area. And so what I want y'all to do is think about this old school way of doing business where we're going to build a relationship, we're going to build massive value, and we're going to make the people that are referring us the roof of the star. And how do we do this? It's very simple. First of all, it starts with a list. This is literally a mechanical exercise. Uh, on the list, I want to go through how are we going to basically write down their physical address, their email address, and cell phone number all in an Excel spreadsheet. So if we have 20 different property managers, 10 different roof consultants, and 10 different engineers, what I want to know their physical location of their office in case I want to send them a gift. You know, there's a lot of different things that we do at our RCA. I've partnered with a guy named Eric, who actually is letting me do in his roof. It's called Cutting Edge Gifts. He's got this really cool cutting board that I like to use that builds some real, like thought. Because like, dude, when you have a cutting board and it's in someone's kitchen and they're using it, they're always seeing your brand. The idea is that, what I want to do is whether I'm sending a hand addressed direct mail or I'm sending a gift, I want to create sort of a wow effect with the Dream 100 person, along with I want to get their email address. A lot of times there's AI tools right now that can scrape emails from LinkedIn and all across the area. And cold email is something that I get a lot. There is machines that will send out lots of cold email. And I believe that this is a good strategy for creating Dream 100 relationships. But it really comes down to a mechanical approach to getting 100 people on the list. Who are the best 100 people that can refer me the properties? What is my offer? And here's my offer. Any property that you have, we will go inspect. We will do drone photos. We will do a good, better, best roofing estimate. We will give you 50% off of repairs. And we're going to come to you as the expert. If you already have a roofer, give us the last right of refusal. We'll meet or beat that roofer's offer with our price value guarantee, or we'll show you where that roofer isn't offering you the right system for the roof. The reality is that this report's only going to help your business owner, even if he doesn't use us, have a better idea about the roof system he needs, and we're going to make you the star. The key to the Dream 100 relationship is to make the property manager the star. And how do you do that? Awesome reports, speed to delivery on what you promise, being able to complete repairs that others can't. Guys, whenever you're going up on a roof, the first thing that we're going to do as insurance restoration experts is we're going to check for damage. If there happens to be legitimate damage, they want it covered. And so that's just sort of an add-on to our retail offer. But a lot of times it's hard to get a roofer to do a drone survey, for us, like on a flat roof, you want to know as a business owner how much moisture you have trapped on the roof, how much more life expectancy we have left on the roof, what kind of repairs can be done to extend the life of the roof. And for us as repair roofers, especially on retail, we're not the guys that are going to force replacement. That's actually the bad roofer. The good roofer is actually going to help you not spend the money on replacement. That's the pitch. And so, when you go into this deal, you want to give that, whether it's property manager or roof engineer or roof consultant, all the things that you need. I think a prerequisite to this is you need to start building your reference list. Pulling up a copy of the RRCA commercial reference book. For me, this has been the first time I saw like a book that was really on a high caliber. I think his name was Matt Spanton, Cat 5. He had all of his projects that he built it out. It's like, man, when I get to be a big badass roofer, I'll have a reference book like this. one of the better ones that I've seen over the years, a company that's no longer in business, or that maybe they're in business, but they're smaller than they used to be, CMR. They do a lot of high-end projects in the area here, affected a lot by the insurance market, but they did have a great commercial reference book. And so whenever, I'm talking to these property managers, it's sort of a prerequisite to give them the pictures of what you've done. And this sort of sets you far and above your average roofer. And when people are doing commercial roofs, they want to do business with people who've done commercial roofs before. So the idea is pretty simple: to come up with 100-person list. And what are we going to do with this 100-person list? We're going to invite them to a lunch and learn, or we're going to offer to do a lunch and learn at their office for their people, for their property managers, for their realtors, for their roof consultants, for their engineers. Even if it's a small group, let's say it's 4 or 5 people and it's a roof engineer office. Say it's 3 property managers and we're showing up to do a little lunch and learn. Our goal is to talk about coating solutions, 50% off repairs, how we check for storm damage, free drone inspections and surveys. And while property managers are not allowed to get kickbacks on deals, what they do want is they want referrals on other commercial properties, and they want a roofer that they can trust. And so I would say that the best way to break bread is exactly that. You break bread with them. You buy them lunch. You reach out to them. I have a client that went from 2 million to 20 million bucks. His name is John Franco. He spoke at our last Mansion Mastermind. And if you're watching this right now, we're going to be doing a 100 roof challenge. Black Friday, I'm going to go all in on basically unlocking everything I did over 30 days to really launch a virtual sales division, recruit a team of new people. I personally, out of my truck, did 80 deals in 30 days. I didn't keep any of the commissions. I gave them away to my whole sales team. It was such a launch for my team that now I got guys doing insurance to retail that weren't. Now I got guys that are fired up, pushing in the last quarter of the year. And even though we're one day before Thanksgiving, we're having one of our best sales weeks of the year. And if you're watching this right now, I want you to join us Friday for the training. I would say that one of the keys to the Dream 100 is just the fortunes in the follow-up. You need an email address to send them email. You need a cell phone number. And if you're looking for someone's cell phone number and you can't find it anywhere online, even though there's cool tools like Reonomy to penetrate LLCs and find the cell phone number of the homeowner, a lot of times those phone numbers don't work. They're old numbers. And I always say the devil is in the data. And one of the biggest tools that I believe is the cheat code is truepeoplesearch.com. And anytime I'm going to go and find a commercial property, I'm going to go into reonomy.com. I'm going to look up to penetrate the LLC, who's the business owner. And then if I don't get a good cell phone number, I'm immediately going to go to True People Search, and I'm going to look for the owner. And a lot of times inside of Reonomy, it'll tell me where the owner lives. So I'll I'll True People Search the owner's name, where he's from, and then look at the mobile phone number options and give them a call. But I would tell you, like, if you're going to send them a gift, if you're going to send them an email, if you're going to call them on the phone, the offer is pretty simple. We're coming to your office. We're going to buy you lunch. We're going to educate you on how you need a roofer that you can trust. You need a roofer to make you a star. And we're going to show you how to never lose a client because of a roof again. Next, I want to go into the coatings funnel. This is going to be something that I'm really dialing into. 2026. Last year we had a big storm. We did a ton of business chasing roofs paid for by the insurance company. This year we didn't get a storm here in Florida, so we're really focused on retail commercial sales. And if you're watching this right now, the best offer to a commercial property owner is how you could save 80% on the cost of replacement and get it 100% tax deductible with minimal business disruption and no tear off. If you could get a 10 to 20 year warranty on your roof and it was 80% of the cost of replacement and you were able to get it at 100% tax deductible, you'd be interested in a quote, right? And this is the offer on the internet that is the easiest to scale for commercial property owners. If you're running Facebook ads and content, I've got a coatings funnel, and the coatings funnel is basically going to offer homeowners a free inspection. They're going to talk about a revolutionary coating system. I believe, and through our network, that the best company and network to partner with is Conklin Coatings. Omar Algali, he's been a part of my community for a really long time. And I've seen him go from a small roofer that sells a lot of residential roofs. He does less hard work, less customers, more volume, more profit, because he sells Conklin Coatings projects at 50% plus margins, all because what you're doing is you're all these other roofers, they're quoting repairs, they're quoting replacements, but with a coating, it's pretty simple. We're literally taking a white roofing solution. There's multiple different options within coatings as far as the length of the warranty, the amount of coats on the roof, but it's pretty simple. It's like, dude, this is the easiest marketing funnel to get commercial leads. It's the coatings funnel, and it's an offer that commercial building owners that have an issue with roofs that they can't resist. 80% off the cost of replacement, and you get a 20-year warranty. Click the link below for a free inspection to see if you qualify. And the cool thing about it is there's a lot of unqualified roofs that come into the coatings funnel. This is one thing that I really need to kind of double down on. Me and Omar have done a handful of coatings jobs, and these coatings jobs are some of the easiest to execute. What I say in commercial is the sweet spot isn't always $1 million, $2 million, $3 million jobs. Those jobs usually have a lot of red tape. The sweet spot for commercial is actually a smaller ticket project. A smaller ticket project that's below $350,000. As a matter of fact, I have a $150,000 coating. This was a metal roof. We tried to get approved through the insurance. It got denied. And I'm in the process of closing a $150,000 retail coating deal. The thing is that comparing my coatings price, $150,000, against the cost of replacing the metal. We went at the insurance company for hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I'm not really like, I think the total estimate was about $600,000 for the cost of replacement, and the cost of restoration of a coating system with a 20-year warranty was $150K. And so when I told my guy Steve that this was 100% tax deductible, and you could write this down, it's section 179 of the tax code, and Trump has made some additions to the tax code, but this is something that for people, the big deal is like, I want to see if I can get a roof that's 80% the cost of replacement, that's 100% tax deductible. The problem is, dude, if you have a really old leaky roof, your roof's not going to qualify. And that's actually a good thing, because when we go out to a roof that has a lot of leaks and they want a coating, we give them the good news or the bad news. Do you want the good news or do you want the bad news? And a lot of times the bad news is that we can't do a coating on this project, that your roof's too wet, that your roof's too far gone, and that the only way that we can solve your problem is the cost of replacement. Now, do you want the good news? We actually found legitimate damage from storms and can walk you through the process and might be able to save you 50 to 80% of the cost of replacement. That's if they have damage. If they don't have damage, maybe you can go in there and show them how other roof systems that you can do are cheaper. The idea is to switch somebody who really just wants to save 80% off the cost of a roof to a full replacement, because it's always like all's fair in love and war and getting your foot in the door in roofing marketing. And this coatings funnel, this is something that's great for metal roofs. This is something that's great for flat roofs. This is something that's great for individual business owners that don't want to spend big money on the roof. Do y'all think that a commercial property owner really wants to spend money on their roof? No, they hate it. They can't raise the rent because they get a new roof, and nobody wants to talk about it. And so many of us, I'm going to get to the insurance side of it, which is my specialty, a little bit later on. We want to skip right to that part of the sale. But I'll be real, the biggest commercial roofer in my market, he says we've become the biggest, baddest commercial roofer because we don't sell roof replacements. We have a roof check system. From us, we call it lifetime roof assurance, where you don't need a roof, you need a good roofer. You need annual, biannual inspections. You need leak repair credits. You need 50% off repairs. You need priority emergency response. You need documentation for insurance. You need a long-term life cycle extension. So for us, we're going to be offering you a lifetime roof assurance. This looks like a monthly payment or a yearly agreement that includes service calls, and it includes a price pre-negotiated 50% off repairs. And for a commercial property owner, it's like you're buying their liability. It's sort of like an assurance policy or an insurance policy against replacement. And if I'm telling you that I can maintain this roof for $10,000 a year and complete all major repairs for 50% off, that sometimes is your hot button to build a relationship for replacement later on. We call this the Lifetime Roof Assurance Maintenance Program. And if you want a copy of our agreement, you should comment Lifetime Roof Assurance. We'll get you plugged in. A lot of times we may talk about repairs, but that conversation leads to replacement later on. And I believe that if you're going to be a commercial roofer, you got to have a repair division. You got to have a good repair roofer. You got to have a good commercial roof repair specialist. We got a guy named Joe Skiba. He started off doing a lot of the jobs. He builds all of our commercial roofs. He's absolutely indispensable to our commercial operation because he can sell, build, collect, and because he can go up on the roof and he can figure out if the roof can be repaired, and he can talk roofer to him. Now, he may not think about all the sales marketing and sales strategy and all the different things, but a lot of times that's not what a commercial property owner wants. They want to talk to a real roofer. And so being able to document, diagnose, and play the leak buster, it's one of Joe's really competitive advantages when it comes to selling commercial roofs. It's something that you should learn, and it's something that is very important. Now, a real cheat code to selling commercial roofs, this is before we get into my specialty, which is selling insurance, is condos and HOAs. This is the honey hole, and I'm really fired up about all across America. So many of y'all are missing out on millions of dollars of opportunity because you don't go and identify these targets. I always say the devil's in the data. And why do we love condos or HOA videos? Comment below why you think that we love condos or HOA projects. For us, here's why. A commercial property owner is driven by greed. They are a commercial, they only care about saving money on their roof. A condo, they want, a lot of times a board member is somebody who wanted to make a difference in their community. They wanted to make decisions. They get into politics because they wanted to make a difference. They wanted to be the man. And in order to be the man, you got to be the man. And what does the man do? The man gets quotes on a roof. The man takes care of the property. And what's really cool about condos and HOAs, specifically here in Florida, every 15 years, these roofs, the flat roofs, the shingle roofs, the tile roofs, they're inspected by the insurance companies annually. They pay these huge insurance policies. And a lot of times the biggest reason for a large insurance policy is the age of the roof. And so condos are easier to sell because the people on the board, they're not making a profit off of the jobs. As a matter of fact, they can't be sort of like, when you're doing a claim or working somebody that's a commercial property owner, they may try to make money on the deal. They may try to find a roofer, get 10 different bids. Condos, they can be very cheap, but oftentimes they want the best roofer for the best price. And that's my lane is price value. I don't want to be the cheapest roofer, but I want to offer the best price value guaranteed. And so here's how you really work with condos. Of course, the secret is to get the property managers that are really specialized in handling condos. And again, you got these guys on your Dream 100, you're offering lunch and learns, you're bringing your reference book to the table, you're showing your lifetime roof assurance, your coating solutions, and how you check for insurance roof replacement. These are all different ways you separate yourself from the competition. But really, you need to find out how to find the board members. And for us in Florida, there is a government website called SunBiz, and we have AI technology that will scrape this website and pull all the board members and put them onto a spreadsheet. Then we take this spreadsheet and we look up all their cell phones. We literally call them on the phone. We send them direct mail. We invite them to our own lunch and learns. But the cool thing about commercial condo owners is a lot of times they're not getting prospected by tons of other people. And so when you find their cell phone number, they want to talk about improvements to their property. And so whether you're talking about 80% of the cost of replacement through coatings, or you're talking about 50% off all repairs and lifetime roof assurance, or you're talking about my drone detected damage, if you have legitimate damage, you want it covered, right? These are 3 different ways that a condo or HOA want to hear about how you can help them on a claim. And so how do you find the board members? There's a lot of different resources, but one thing that I want you to know is don't underestimate ChatGPT. I used to use all these different tools to do my research, but when I found out that Chat was an insane tool to find commercial property owners, I started really checking with Chat first. You know, if I'm going to ask right here, Chat. I am in downtown Naples and I want a commercial building. I'm looking for the nearest condo to downtown 5th Street, okay, that has a bigger roof. Okay, I'm looking for the name of the biggest condo down near 5th Street. So we're going to start here and we're going to unpack this a little bit. Searching, searching, searching. Cool. Residences at 5th and 5th. Okay, cool. Because of its central location and larger blueprint, the Huxley at Old Naples. Nice. My recommendation, start at residence at 5th and work outwards. Okay, great. So, can you get me a list of all the board members at residence on 5th? See what it comes up with. Searching, 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 blah, 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 blah. Good question. Here's what I found. President. Bading, bading, bading. Publicly known board members. All right. So if I've got the president's name and his name is Matthias Schiele, what I can do, I've also got the property manager, showcase property manager. I got the manager's contact. What I can do with the name is I can go to True People Search, and this is the cheat code. You find the contact right here, okay, and then you find the cell phone number on True People Search. It's a big cheat code. I have an inside connection with the head of board member, 600 square condo, 15-year-old 600 square condo roofing, 15-year-old 3-tab. Curious what kind of proposal. So on a 15-year-old 3-tab, I'm going to check it for storm damage first. I mean, 3-tab is a soft shingle that's easily damaged by storms, and so I'm going to do a storm history report on one of those. I'm going to let the condo board. Let's just pretend I'm calling that customer. Let's pretend that Matthew is the question in the chat. The question says, I have an inside connection with the head of board member of 600 square condo, 15-year-old 3-tab. What sort of proposal should I work up? Starts with a phone call. Hey, Matthias, Lee Haight, RRCA Roofing. My drone detected damage on your condo building. I've got an important report I need to send over to your email. How do you want me to send it? You want me to send it by text or by email? Yeah, my drone detected damage. I'm a commercial roofer. It looks like you have an older roof. Do you know how old that roof is? The man asking the questions on the cold call controls the conversation. Oh, the roof is 15 years old. Look, now if I wanted to know when did a storm happen, I would simply go, okay, right here. I'm looking for a storm date and I need winds over 60 miles an hour. Now, I know there was a date in June at Naples Airport, but can you give me the storm date of the best insurance claim for this property? It needs to be within the last year, and I need winds over 60 miles an hour, and I need those winds to be within a 5-mile radius of the property. So here we go on chat because we need a storm date. Okay. And before I go and cold call the guy, I'm probably going to have this information because the guy that has the most information in the meeting wins. And so as it comes up, thinking for a better answer, June 22nd, there was 67-mile-an-hour winds, Naples Airport. Now I got my storm date. I say, hey, look, we do it a little bit different. Our company specializes in identifying storm damage, and a lot of the condos that we've worked with, they didn't pull their hard-earned money out of the reserves. They got their roofs paid for by the insurance. So if you had legitimate damage on your 15-year-old 3-tab shingle roof, you'd want it covered, right? Okay, perfect. I'm going to get you a copy of this report, and I'm going to be in the area tomorrow, either between 2 or 4 o'clock. You're going to be on site tomorrow? Is there any of the board members that are going to be on site tomorrow that I can stop by? I just need roof access. I need to give them some information, have a few questions about if they're on site for the date of the storm. It's that freaking simple, guys. You just tell them. And a lot of times it's the tone of your voice. We'll go through the ultimate pitch a little bit later on. But since condo board members aren't used to being cold called, this is usually an easy pitch. And so for me, I just love the idea of finding the condos, doing the research. This is a real cheat code, ChatGPT, and doing the research. And so don't sleep on a free resource that everybody has access to. All right. Let me get here to the next bit here. Okay. That is the storm path 100 method. Okay. We're going to, whether you use Roofing Redline with the storm maps inside of the Roofing Redline. Look, guys, if you want to land more commercial roofs, there's no better to teach you than me. I mean, a lot of these guys online making content, they don't do commercial roofs, and you've seen the roofs on my YouTube. I've done millions and millions. I think 195 million in roofs in the last 5 years, and a lot of those roofs were commercial roofs. This year, about 40% of the roofs, 40% of our revenue came from commercial roofing. And a lot of them came from this method, the Storm Path 100. So you want to find the path of the storm. You got Roofing Redline, you got your map of the storm, and then you want to draw a map with your tool. You got Roofing Redline, you've got Reonomy up on an app. Reonomy is a tool that you can actually draw on the map where the storm happened, and then you can pull all the data. What I like to do with Reonomy is I like to look for buildings that were built pre-1985. If I have a roof or an old roof 1995 that's built 2000 or before, then I know that that could be a really old roof, a really old building, and really need an update. Also, I like to look for people with a phone number. I like to look. I believe that these big real estate investment trusts, when you have like more than 20 properties, like there's a lot of these companies that are real estate investment trusts that are multi-billion-dollar asset holding companies. There's a lot of corporate red tape in these. And so sometimes these people are hard to jump through the red tape on, and I try to avoid these. I look for people that have less than 10 properties under their LLC, because these people are easy to get in touch with. Next, of course, I'm using Reonomy to find their cell phone number, and I'm using a drone pitch. Look, with Reonomy, we have a storm path in my app, Roofing Redline. We've got aerial photos. My drone detected damage on your roof. And this assumption, this certainty, it does catch them off guard. The idea is that you're doing a commercial roof, that you happen to notice damage, and that you have the magic question right here in your holster. If you have legitimate damage, you want it covered, right? I mean, who is not going to say yes to that? And so it really comes down to finding the cell phone number of the commercial property owner, making the calls, using Reonomy to build the data list, but also if you can't find a good cell phone number, to cross-reference with Reonomy, True People Search. True People Search is that free cheat code to finding anybody's cell phone number, and it's very, very important. And so, like, you know, as you drive by, as you drive by the properties, and this is what's really cool about my app, is like I'm actually going to be driving down the road. I see an old roof. It's got a busted 15-year-old 3-tab roof, and I need to mark this property for later in the day. So I go inside my map in Roofing Redline, and I see that it's an old roof right here, and I mark it as storm damage. And then I take the address later on, I punch it into my Reonomy, I find the cell phone number, and I hit them with the ultimate pitch. And it all comes down to the tone of your voice. It all comes down to the word track. It comes down to the questions that you ask. What you don't want to do is you really don't want to be the guy that is like offering to do a free estimate, begging to get on the job, having a high-pitched voice. There's a lot of things that you don't want to do when you talk to a commercial property owner. The main thing is you want to get right to the point. You want to sound more like a CIA investigator or a cop. I've been assigned the roof investigation. My name is Lee Haight. My drone detected damage. Look, we had a storm June 22nd, 67-mile-an-hour winds. It looks like you got a corner of your roof that's ripped and stripped, and I just want you to know that this could be covered by the insurance. Our customers in the area didn't pay for their roofs out of pocket. They got their roofs paid for by the insurance company because they have legitimate damage. If you have legitimate damage, you want it covered, right? Let me put that Kobe Bryant on them. Hey-yo! That's right. I can lock myself in a room at any given moment and create 1 to 2 commercial leads every hour. And even if all I did was sell commercial roofs, like, this is literally one of the most impactful skills that I have. And like, the problem with selling commercial roofs is, dude, you're going to go through a lot of leads that don't qualify. You're going to go through a lot of leads that don't have damage. You're going to get cock blocked by other roofers. You're going to get the opportunity to do the bid, and then the roofer is the customer may already know a roofer, and you may lose to someone else. The reality is, even if you close at a 5% closing rate. That means you have 100 leads, but you only close 5 fucking deals. If those 5 deals are 200, 500, 200,000, 500,000, a million or more, dude, it doesn't take that much. And if you've never sold a commercial roof, especially if you're someone who works through the insurance claims process, there's not that much difference about selling the process, how you get your foot in the door, what you can do. So if you're watching this right now, dude, we're doing a challenge this Friday. It's called the 100 Roof Challenge. We're going to be leveling up mentally, spiritually, physically. I'm going to be breaking down everything I did to double sales in the last quarter of the year. This is going to be for roofers that are under 5 million. Even if you're a salesperson, sales leader, you're not a business owner, this is for you. It's a free challenge. It's my contribution back to the insurance industry. And what you're going to get is access to a private chat. You're going to get private calls, and you're going to get the exact insurance to retail pitch, commercial pitch, and you're going to get this kind of coaching and motivation on the daily. See, this is my commercial Wednesday call, and we do these 4 calls a week. We do retail on Fridays, commercial on Wednesday, and 2 door-to-door savage days on Tuesday and Saturday. Because I believe you are who you train with, and you should train with the best. And just like my dog Kobe over here, dude, the more times that you practice the ultimate pitch, the more times that you get sharp and like the higher level people that I'm playing around as far as my game, the more my game is risen, the more that I'm able to rise to the occasion. And so if you're watching this right now, number one thing I can tell you is you're not looking up enough properties. You're not dropping enough pins. If you use Roofing Redline, go into your market, find 100 old roofs. This is a free trial that you can get to my software. Mark the roofs as storm damaged. Then go into Reonomy. You can build a database by just simply saving each property. And then once you have 100 properties, you can just go down the list. And you're probably going to get, like, for every single person that you talk to, there's probably going to be, because like what I like to offer is a drone inspection, a drone estimate, and I don't have to get on the roof. And so if I don't have to get on the roof, if it's a free report, if I've already got pictures and I'm going to send it to them, then dude, they don't tell me no very often. I swear to God, we get like more than 50% of the people that we talk to allow us to do an inspection, because we don't ask, we tell. I tell them I've been assigned the investigation, and I tell them I already have the report. How do you want the report? Emailed, or do you want it by text? And that's the real cheat code. One of the ways that we've created so many fucking commercial leads is, to be honest with you, we text the homeowners and property owners direct. These commercial businesses are, of course, scraped off the do not call list. But for business to business, doing AI text has been a game changer for lead generation. Just the other day, I mean, I have a condo lead today on a 17-year-old tile roof. I'm going to go inside of my chat right now, and I'm going to show you. And my commercial cold call team generated it for me because they used my script to generate the leads. And what would it be like if, all you had to do was wake up in the morning, and because you give the guys the script, because you give the guys the know-how, you've got properties like this. This is a big commercial property that just came in. Let me read it to you. John spoke with Ray, who confirmed he was the vice president at blank, blank, blank. He mentioned this association has 14 buildings. They have tile roofs and a few carports. Said that his board has decided to replace their roofs in 2029. But if you have legitimate damage, you want it covered, right? It says he thinks he might be under contract with a roofing company by the name of Colonial Roofing. See, lifetime roof assurance. They have a maintenance agreement on. I've put so many Colonial Roofing jobs on roller skates because they don't know insurance claims, but that's okay. I always say there's a lot of good repair roofers out there. These guys are looking to make money off repairs. I'm looking to save the cost of full replacement through our process. That's how I differentiate. He said he does know they are not under contract with them to fully replace their roofs and would like our team to provide him with their estimate for 14 roofs and also to extend their gutters in each building. He said we can do a drone estimate and that our team can give him the estimate in person Monday, December 1st at 11 a.m. Since he thinks he can present it to his board, since later that same day, they have a board budget meeting. What would you pay for a generated lead Monday, 11 a.m.? And this is a board meeting. And so the cool thing is they haven't even considered this June 22nd storm date. Team, I advised him that our team would call him to confirm and touch base with him. Also did not tell him who we are. Just told him we're a known roofing company. Did not even ask for our company's name. And so that being said, the last one besides that one, okay, this is a monster as well. big tile roof right here, drone inspection. This is not as good a lead. This one says it's a 5 to 8 year old tile roof. I'm going to skip it. Let me read this one right here. Oh, this is a mega deal. Look at that bitch. Big old bitch. Got the treasurer right here. His name is John. Carlos spoke with John, advised why I was calling, said he was part of the board, and said he wouldn't mind our drone report if it was free, since I told him we were a local family-owned company, but he was going to a meeting, didn't confirm an email, just said send it by text, and it would be fine. The flat with tile roofs, about 22 years old. It's a big high-rise and small villas in the back. He confirmed the address and is where one of our inspectors will be reaching out once it's done. So by offering the inspection by text, by offering the drone, the fact is this is a mega deal. And, you know, it's sort of a cheat code that we're using AI and text to generate leads on mega deals like that, but it's still the drone pitch. And I'm giving away all the secrets right here on this call. See, the devil is not, G.I. Joe says, knowing is half the battle. What's the other half of the battle? If knowing how to do it is half the battle, what's the other half of the battle? It's fucking doing it. Okay. And that's what world we live in. You can ask chat how to do anything and it'll show you and it'll tell you, but will you get it done? Will you prioritize it and get it done? That's the question. And so I'm sitting here going through this list and I'm just thinking, man, you could get access to Reonomy today. You could make a commitment to make 100 cold calls. You could join our 100 roof challenge on Friday. We're going to be doing another live stream just like this. I'm going to drop the link right here in the chat. And basically, I want you to go ahead and register. It's completely free. We're going to kick some major ass. It's going to be great. Let me get back to my outline so I can wrap this thing up. Next is going to be LinkedIn. It is an absolute cheat code for generating leads. I got a new AI system that's crawling LinkedIn and looking for key contacts in some of these bigger properties. It's like a big box approach. This is how you get in with your Cushman Wakefields, your CBREs. And really what you're going to do is you're going to set up 20 to 50 connection requests a day. You're going to build a list. You're going to set up automated follow-up sequence, and you're going to start to post value content about coatings, insurance wins, and case studies. What I've put together is a way that you can instantly book calls and deliver a audit. And this, whether it's a way to save 80% through a coatings that's completely tax deductible, or it's a way to get 50% off repairs and maintain the roof without having to replace it, or it's a way to go through the insurance process and get the roof paid for by the insurance company. These are all better ways to talk about roofing than just let me give a quote for your roof replacement, which almost no one wants to do. LinkedIn plus AI is an incredible tool. And if you want access to my tools, join us for the challenge. I'll give you all the tools. Next, it's the closing. And the closing is all about literally how you do the presentation. Commercial is a lot about a presentation sale. And I always say sometimes a little gray goes a long way. I'm getting more gray in my beard. Had my 40th birthday. Got a lot of wrinkles up here. You may think I'm older than 40, but the older I get, maybe the more credibility I have with some of these commercial property owners. And in the old days, I used to bring guys that were older than me just so that I can have a different voice, just so that I could have a different, and you should never worry about, should I try and close this on my own or should I use a public adjuster? Should I bring in an attorney or should I do it on my own? If it's an insurance deal, I always say if you got a good public adjuster or attorney that can help close the deal, sometimes it increases your closing percentage going together. I know that working a commercial deal, sometimes it's nice to have sort of a yin and a yang approach. As you're sitting there talking, one person is surveying the room and maybe they pick up on an objection internally that's not being said that while you're talking, you don't understand. And that's why I believe sometimes with commercial, you can't be afraid to work the deals as a team. Look, I want to help you close commercial deals. You just have to get the lead. I have the reference book. I don't care if you have a small company. If you're a $1 to $5 million roofer, you may not have my experience, but I can build the roofs, sell the roofs, and you can put your name on it. So we're going to do this 100 roof challenge and you're going to make some cold calls. It's going to be great. But what you need is my Dream 100 template. This is literally a spreadsheet that we build out. You manually fill out and make the calls. Remember, we're offering the people lunch and learns. Next, you need the coatings funnel, which is literally something that I've been working on a really long time. I just got it dialed in. Omar, going to get you a copy of what I got because we are about to take this shit to the moon. Also, our maintenance agreement, lifetime roof assurance, how we structure it, what we do, how we charge for repairs. Next is my ultimate pitch or $1 million deals daily scripts. Look, if you want access to all that, I want you to join us for our Black Friday 100 deal challenge. Look, I don't care how long it takes for you to sell 100 days. You may not be able to get it done in 30 days. I'm going to go ahead and put my email in the chat. You can contact me by email. Send me your contact information and we can set up a call. I'm happy to help you launch a commercial division. I believe that my commercial division is the most profitable thing. And, you know, the thing that's most important about commercial is getting commercial leads. Closing commercial is about a complex sell. When you're closing a complex sell, it's about figuring out who's the decision maker, what's their biggest concern, what drives them. And you have to play the angle. Finding creative pursuit angles to close the deal is everything. I would say that even though that these deals are really hard, what we're looking for is the easy ones. We're looking for cool homeowners that need our help. Oftentimes, they may give us a lot of objections up front, but sometimes the easiest ones are the ones that give us a ton of objections. And so if you're watching this right now, it's sort of this diversified approach to selling commercial deals that wins. And so if you want to sell more commercial jobs, you got to get access to Reonomy. You need to build a Dream 100. You need a coatings funnel, and you need a maintenance plan like lifetime roof assurance. I'm happy to hook you up. Join us for the 100 Roof Challenge. If you're watching this and you're already inside of the group, you're inside of the Zoom call, I'm going to shut down my live stream right now. Guys, this is something that you should get access to. It's 4 calls a week. It's a private WhatsApp chat, and it's everything, my training systems that you need to be an 8-figure commercial roofer in the next 12 to 18 months. Look, I'm leaving a link in the comments, but I got to go answer questions from my guys. They haven't been able to talk, but that's cool. That's sort of the best part of the deal is they get access to me and I can coach them through whatever commercial leads or problems they have. And so thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate it. I want you to join me Friday. We're going to be doing the live stream at 11 a.m. And I want y'all to make a commitment to level up mentally, spiritually, physically, because you get paid for who you are, not what you do. And if you want to do 100 deals in 30 days or 100 deals in as fast as possible, you got to become a different version of yourself. So if you're interested in talking with me about creating a commercial book of business, you can email me right there. My email is in the chat, lee@skydiamondsuniversity.com. I'm going to leave the link to the 100 Roof Challenge in the chat, and I'll be seeing y'all Friday at 11. Thanks.
What they call, brother?
Oh,